Margot Robbie, thanks for chatting to 7:30.
Of course, happy to. And extremely happy to see you again.
You've recently lent your voice to the new animated film Peter Rabbit, and you play one of the sisters, and James Corden is Peter Rabbit. What attracted you to this role?
It was a really good script. It's normally how I kind of, pick the roles that I want to fight for. And it was obviously a world that I grew up with. I grew up with like the Peter Rabbit stories, seeing it on TV, had the plates and like little teacups and all that kind of stuff. So it felt special to be a part of that kind of, kind of passing it on to the next generation seemed really cool.
You were just 17 when you started out on Neighbours. How did working on a soapie prepare you for life as a Hollywood actress?
Oh, it's the great, I mean, a lot of people say this, it really is the best training ground ever. And I remember saying, I can walk off this set knowing that I will never do a job as hard as this again. It prepared me so well, multi-camera, it's also great working on an Australian production where there wasn't such a hierarchy or segregation between cast and crew. I remember that when I first got to America and I because on Neighbours I'd say tea time and I'd get everyone's tea orders and make everyone a cup of tea and that would be like cast and crew. I never realised that there was any separation and I was on an American set and I said, oh, I guess it's tea time, who wants a cup of tea? And like, the crew members would not let me make them a cup of tea. They were like, no, I'll get it. I was like, I'm going to get one now, like it doesn't matter, I'll go get one. They're like, no, absolutely not. And I was like, this is weird, this is not like how it is back home.
You also run production company Lucky Chap and Tonya was your first big success. When did you first know that you had to make that movie?
When I read the script, it was very evident that there were a million ways to do it wrong and only one way to do it right, but the idea of getting it right was so exciting. I wanted to be a part of the conversations on casting who's going to play Jeff Gillooly and who our director is going to be and how they feel about domestic violence and how they feel about that sense of humour and how they're going to approach these characters. And, we spoke to a lot of directors and some directors I felt like they kind of thought the characters were stupid or like trashy, and I didn't want someone, directing us like that. I don't know, I was never going to approach my character that way and I didn't want the director to be approaching that. So to be able to be a part of the conversations from ground up, not just in casting and director and all that kind of stuff, but who does our financing and why, and signing on with people who believe in the movie and want to make it for the right reasons.
Yeah.
And being part of those conversations shaped the entire process. It was, the creative control is the short answer. I could have said that 5 minutes ago.
Are you finding other actresses in Hollywood are having those same ambitions?
Yeah, so many actresses I've heard, they've either come to me or I've heard them, heard that they've been saying to other people, like, I want to produce something. And I just keep going to them, like, if you want the infrastructure that you don't have right now, like, come to our company if you want, produce with us, we'll develop, like, whatever you want to do, or I'll sit down with you and tell you exactly how we did it and, like, fast track it, but you should do it. We should all do it. Don't wait and think, oh, I don't know, maybe it's too hard, it's too much, I don't have the right prerequisites, whatever. I'm like, I didn't even go to drama school. Like,
around the time the Weinstein allegations broke, you spoke at an event celebrating women in film, and in preparing your speech, you felt it was important to consult with a certain group of women who'd been excluded from that conversation.
Yeah.
Who were they and why was that important to you?
So my group of girlfriends in London are primarily made up of crew members, and they're, a lot of them are AEDs, but they're all behind the camera. I was shocked at how angry they were. I was shocked that over in London, they were feeling extremely strongly about this, and it wasn't because they'd ever encountered Harvey Weinstein. He represents, like, the problem. It's not the person they've ever encountered, but they've encountered the problem, and that's what he represented. And the way that they represent the industry, they also had strong feelings about the problem in the industry, and they'd experienced it. And I just was shocked at how angry. Clearly they hadn't been asked, and it kind of flooded out. And, it meant a lot. Yeah.
Have you had to fight through degrading situations in Hollywood?
Not in a way that I feel that I have a #MeToo story that I would explicitly say, but yes, there's been small instances where the male-dominated industry that I work in I've been acutely aware that I work in an industry, dominated by men, and I've worked with great men in this industry, and I know a lot of men who fight for this cause as much as the women I know fight for it. So I definitely don't ever want to make it an us versus them thing. I think we're going to be so much stronger if we stand together. And, you know, we've at our company, half men, half are women, and I would say we're 100% feminist. Guys can be feminists too. So I guess my message in all of this is that we need to stand together.
You've also spoken about fostering the talents of women behind the camera. And I thought it was great this year how Rachel Morrison was the first woman to be nominated for an Oscar for cinematography. How do you see this evolving?
I don't think most people in the industry are making a conscious choice to exclude women or people of colour or people of the LGBTQ community, or I think it's just not prevalent. I think a lot of their actions are unconscious actions, and the more conscious we can make these issues, the more people are gonna, you know, maybe I'm an optimist, but I think people want to do the right thing and they want to change things for the better. And I think the more conscious they are of it, there's a quicker path to that change.
What about directing? Does that feature in your grand plan?
It does. I would love to direct one day. Not yet, not for a couple of years, but for a long time I've always wanted to, direct.
Cool.
Not for a while though.
Okay.
I feel like it's a privilege, not a right, and I don't feel like I've earned it yet.
Thanks for the chat.
Thank you. Good to see you again.